Hello there and welcome to this look over my shoulder video. In this video I'm going to cover Quantcast.com, so let's go ahead and dive right in here. I showed you an example of using Zanga.com. It's a pretty good one. I want to start with that and show you what that looks like live, because I think it's a great example. This is what it looks like if I were to just come here without an account and utilize Quantcast. Even though they do have premium options and you can create accounts and things like that, that's entirely up to you. So here's their traffic that you see here, followed by demographics, audience also likes, traffic frequency, and then obviously they don't have any of the business activity there. So let's scroll back up to the meat of it that I like, which is what I brought over, went over in the slideshow, which is the US demographics and an audience also likes. Okay, so it's the same thing as the screenshot I showed you. And so you can really kind of see here the breakdown of everything. And the ones that kind of matter here that we're looking at is your age groups, your sex, and then, race or ethnicity can matter. Income always matters. I think that's important. And then, college education kind of reflects on this. Kids and no kids, that can matter. Not in a campaign for Zanga. I don't think that would really be one of my primaries, but definitely the age, this side here, the left side would mean a lot to me there. So audience also likes, I'll go ahead and hover over this. So it tells you that it's a list of sites that they also frequent, and it's got to be enough times so that they go ahead and grade it or add it to here. So what you could do is you could open up, I'm going to open up a couple of these in additional tabs so that we can take a look. So far what we've got here with this is we've got mostly female, we've got mostly a 13 to 34 range. So what I would do with this is I would probably start breaking these up into 3 or 4 year spans with my ads to kind of filter out where I'm getting the most amount of clicks instead of just going, target 13 to 34. I might do that as the first one to target from A to Z, I would say, in those demographics. But then I'd break it up and I'd do like a couple years per demographic and do more ads for those. So we've got these related sites. Let's take a look at a few of these. It gives estimated traffic, which again, kind of like Zanga, this one's going down, but that doesn't really mean too much. We're just using it for demographic purposes. And you'll notice here at the bottom is all those sites, a lot of those have changed. So as I mentioned before, you could really keep filtering this down. Just be careful that you don't get lost in the filtering, and stay on point with what it is that you're looking for. So here you can see that there's a huge similarity. It's got the same amount of female usage demographic wise. Age group is just about the same. There's a bigger spike in younger age, as you can see here. But yeah, 13 to 34, and you could go through the rest of it. Again, this one's actually mostly Caucasian. It had a recent spike in Hispanic, and then the stuff on the right hand side. Let's look at another one here, WebVeti. And scrolling down, we see mostly female. We see age group again is very similar demographics, 13 to 34. So you're starting to see a pattern here. So just off of these few is I would have a baseline to at least get started. Like I mentioned, I would do one ad group with just the range, the 13 to 34. Then I'd break them down into maybe 2 or 3 year increments and do each increment as its own ad. And then from there, with those demographics, you can further refine and split test your imagery, your titles, your descriptions, and what your call to action is. So there's a lot you can do with that. So I hope you're kind of really starting to see the power of these demographics. It's allowing us that you don't go in blind. I see a lot of people, and a lot of people are always asking me, how do you do Facebook ads? I tried it and I lost money. Well, honestly, I've lost money. I still to this day lose money, and that's fine. But, I think a lot of these people, they get turned off to it because they go in and they go guns blazing without research, and they just say, oh, let's pop up some ads, and then they lose big. So just make sure you're not one of those people. Just put in the extra time to research these demographics. Here you can see again we're on another site, very similar. So I mean that would be enough for me to, like I said, at least get started and kind of figure things out from there. This frequency can kind of help you out too. And then again, this audience also likes, you could just filter down so far. I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to show you some examples, and so that you could really see the amount of similarities that we're really bridging here on just these 4 sites. It's quite extensive.